Welcome to the Remarkable Life podcast. I'm your host and coach, Caryn Gillen, and I'm glad you're here today because we have a tiny but mighty topic, a topic that impacts so much of our lives, but isn't going to take very long to talk about. So stick around. I'll be quick. I want to talk about rest. Rest is something that technically we do every day, supposedly. And I've been talking with a lot of my clients about how they rest, if they rest, what do they think about rest? And now I want to talk to you about that. Are you someone who actively rests, who chooses rest, who doesn't just check out, and we'll talk about the definition of that soon, but who rests, who goes in with the purpose of accepting that rest is required, that rest is neutral and beautiful and great, and goes for it? Are you somebody who knows how to rest? Do you know what to do when your body feels tired if it's not bedtime? Do you know how to gain a restful state, gain the benefits of being rested? Is it okay? Do you have judgment about it? If you do, you're not alone. We were pretty much taught not to rest, to work like machines, but we're not machines. We're animals. We're humans in these bodies. So, I think the other thing that's important to note is that we're a part of nature too. And all things in nature have rest, and it's a part of what makes nature work. And so if we allow ourselves to be a part of nature, then we also must allow ourselves to rest. So let's talk about checking out versus resting. Checking out this is the best way I know how to describe it. I'm laying on the couch, scrolling social media, drinking wine. So I've got 3 different activities going on at once. Am I enjoying any one of them directly, fully? Probably not. I'm distracted. If I'm not distracted by the Instagram alone, I'm distracted by the TV, whatever. But I'm not taking this one activity that I want to be doing and letting it land. And usually if something like that is happening, it's because there has not been permission given. You have not said to yourself, or I have not said to myself, okay, I'm going to go rest now. What would be the best, most generative rest for me right now that I have this time and space? Okay, I'm going to go engage in that activity fully, which means checking out of working, out of productivity of any other kind. That's generative rest. It's regenerative. It is going to fuel you in the ways that rest can and hopefully gets to. So, do you let yourself completely check out of whatever it is you're doing or could be doing, or whatever productivity could be happening at any given moment, and go take the rest that is required of you, or isn't even required, of just that you want? Like, if you just want some rest, you can go and have it. But the most restful rest has that permission slip to go fully into it. And so, what I'm asking of all of us today is to ask ourselves, our bodies, what do I need? What do I need? What do I want? What would be the most restful thing for me that I can accomplish with what I have around me right now? And can I go and do that thing fully and completely right now? Can I just go and rest and leave everything else and come back to it? And for some of us, the answer is going to be no. And for others of us, you might be thinking, what are you even talking about? I do this all the time. Congratulations, you are not the norm. But I want this for you because I want this for all of us. And there are tools that make it easier. And so some of the tools I want to highlight today are clearly giving yourself permission, reminding yourself it's okay for me to rest. Everything will be here when I come back. That, like, I'm going to go into my rest fully. And in order to do that, I think it's important to ask yourself the question, what do I need in order to rest fully? It could be that you need to write out a to-do list so that when you come back, you know exactly where you left off. It could be that you need to do that one project because you just don't want to go rest until it's done. And that's okay. Do that. But check in with yourself, because the answers are in you. Do I need rest? Yes. what will be the most generative rest for me right now? I think it would just be being cozy in front of the fire, reading a book, and falling asleep if I fall asleep. One of the things I like to do is set my alarm. Like if I'm going to go rest, I don't want to think about how long I have. I like to know my alarm is set for 3:30 when I want to get up and go do whatever's next. And I don't have to think about like, oh, I got to watch the clock. I can only rest until 3:30. I'm going to use the tool of my alarm to bring me back from that. So get out there and rest. Like, let's see what you can do if you let yourself have the rest. Because what I notice is when we don't, one, we're not rested. And two, we never have the pleasure of life being somewhat complete, of the list being set aside for the day. We never get to wrap it up and move on into our rest fully, whether that's at 5 o'clock when you're done, or 3 in the afternoon when you need to take a little break, or 8 p.m. when you're done for the day. Whenever that is, like, what can I do to let myself fully go from this day of producing? You can do this every night. You can do it when you're just taking a break, but I just recommend you do it and get really clear with yourself about what actually feels restful. And I think it's interesting because sometimes what feels restful to us looks like work to other people. So for some people, being restful is going for a run. Like the thing that will feel the most restful is getting out of here and moving my body. Great, go do that. For some people, it's researching. The thing that makes me feel the most rested is diving into that topic that I've been putting off that I really want to learn about. Go do that. We don't get to define for other people what the thing is that provides energy for them. We only get to do that for ourselves. And what works for us won't work for everybody else. So you don't have to tell everybody what's the best thing to do. You can offer up ideas, of course, and inspire others to check in with what's restful for them. But I'm really just more concerned with what's restful for you. Let's figure that out. Let's start with you. Okay, feel free, message me on the Instagram. Tell me what you're doing to rest. I want to hear all about it. And thank you for being here today and listening to the podcast, to this tiny but mighty episode. It has been good to be with you. I hope you'll stick around. And don't forget to go subscribe to the show and leave a written review. Thank you. Bye-bye.